Jonathan and I packed up everything we had in the room, and he went, and like he said, he got 2 minutes with her, and then they put me in a wheelchair, wheeled me into the nursery, and gave me her, let me hold her for a minute, and gave me the hat that she was wearing, her card from her bassinet, and 4 pictures. That's all that we got.
Hey, G for T here, and the John Irish and Stephanie Javrin debacle is going viral on the internet. Not because of me, but because one of my subscribers in New Hampshire was distraught that his friend's baby daughter was taken from them basically at birth, and unjustly, as an oath keeper. That was one of the reasons that they described why the baby was taken. And I thought, okay, let's put it out on YouTube, and it's going viral. And right now I have best-selling author Yvonne Mason with me, and she has a website called Protecting Our Children from Being Sold. Maybe we can put together a little bit of an update and an opinion from you. First of all, Yvonne, what were you saying to me earlier about this isn't just about New Hampshire, which I thought was a free state? I mean, I'm in total shock. What's going on here in New Hampshire? You know, this incident started from because some sort of gun incident where the wife was, you know, not carrying her gun properly, and then they opened this huge investigation. I thought New Hampshire was a free state. This is ridiculous.
There are no free states anymore, and the reason being because every county and every state is now broke. We are broke as a country. When that happens, there is no money to fund the local and county government agencies, such as Child Protective Services. So what they do, under Title IV funding, which was set up by Jimmy Carter in 1976 and then reset up by Bill Clinton in 1996, is they go in and they yank these children for any reason. Poor and uneducated, if you're on public welfare, they will monitor pregnancies. They will also monitor these children. And when their coffers start getting empty, they go in and snatch these children under trumped-up charges. And I guarantee you that's what happened with this family. Their biggest thing is they like blonde-headed, blue-eyed little girls. They will go in and yank them, especially if there's a family looking to adopt. And the reason being is the juvenile court gets a part of the Title IV funding money. They get up to $16,000 per child once that child is adopted out. The local agency also gets money. When they yank the child, they get $4,000 right up front. The caseworker gets a bonus at the end of the month for that child. When they adopt them out, they can get up to $16,000 back into their coffers for adopting out a child. So that is instant revenue for them. They're doing it all across the country. Every day I get emails and phone calls from parents who have lost their children on trumped-up charges. Most cases, the parents are uneducated, they are poor, and they don't know the system. I know the system because of my degree in criminal justice and all the research that I've done down through the years about the corruption and defects, and they are corrupt. They are very corrupt. They always say it's in the best interest of the child, but they are putting these children in homes with predators, abusers, and whose best interest is it then?
Okay. So, you know what? And there's a huge conspiracy aspect to this, and I don't want us to seem like we're wackos here, because, you know, I understand Child Protective Services was started with the intent to help people, but I do agree with you that, you know, government bureaucracy and government out of control is rampant. But the fact you're actually stating that these bureaucratic departments are incentivized the same way public schools are incentivized by children going to class, you're saying when they adopt a child out, they get paid. So,
Yes, they do.
okay, that makes total sense to me. Here's what I don't understand, and now I'm talking, this is George G for T. You know, in this whole John Irish, you know, Stephanie Javrin incident, I'm noticing people are doing whatever they can to discount the parents. They're looking at the affidavit, which is proof. In there it says Oath Keepers is one of the reasons, and they say neglect, which is just this, generic term. What is neglect? They don't say anything specific, but they go in there, physically take the baby. I notice people out there are like, well, I need proof. I need proof. This is, I don't want to, don't get excited. Don't get mad. Let's see if these parents are good parents. And it's just like, shouldn't the burden of proof be on the government? It shouldn't be on...
It should not be on the parent, and this is what happens. They use secrecy, and I know this for a fact. I've done my homework. I've read Title IV funding back and forth. I've been dealing with Jackson County, Georgia DFACS for 100 years. I know how they operate. They always use the excuse in the best interest of the child, and they do not have to have a warrant to go in and get a child. So they violate that parent's Fourth Amendment rights, their First Amendment rights, their Sixth Amendment rights, their Seventh Amendment rights, their 13th Amendment rights, and their 14th Amendment rights. The 13th Amendment says no man should be held into slavery. They put these children in these foster homes, and these foster parents make money off of them and don't pay taxes on it. Also under Title IV funding.
So we're not talking about a conspiracy theory. I want to put the pieces of the puzzle together for people. These government agencies are funded by how many children they take in. Of course, you're saying the children that are blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls, they're going to go the fastest through the process. And then you're saying the people that end up with the kids are subsidized by government, too. I mean, that's understandable to me.
And it happens every day. I know of a case right now where they have 6 foster children. 3 of them are siblings. Now, the price tag goes up if you have siblings and if you have special needs children. This foster parent made over $16,000 last year in tax-free money and is building a brand new house in Madison County, Georgia.
Okay, well, 16,000 doesn't seem like a lot, but, maybe in that part of...
It is when you have 6 foster care children. That's just for the 3 siblings. She has 3 more. She lives in Jackson County, Georgia, and the unemployment rate there is 12.5%, which is higher than the national average.
Okay, so we're not trying to villainize foster parents or people that take into children, but we're just saying the system is set up in a way where it incentivizes people to have their...
There's nobody watching the watchers. There's children who are truly, truly, truly abused need to be removed. I have no qualms with that. But just like these parents that lost their newborn because of their beliefs, that child was not put in harm's way from everything that I have read.
And you know what? Yeah, so this is just the system gone amok in New Hampshire, which I am totally shocked by. And here's the thing. InfoWars touched on this. This guy was a member of Oath Keepers, which is a nonviolent constitutional organization. And here's the problem, is now it has this chill effect on freedom of association, freedom of speech. Now people, as they learn about this, instead of being mad and trying to change things, now people are afraid. People are scared. People are like, oh, God, I hope you're not going to be, Is that the right feeling to have in America, supposedly freedom?
It is not, no. And if they do that with this family and this organization they're in now, what's to stop them from going in and pulling a child or many children out of the Catholic Church or out of the Presbyterian Church or out of the Church of Christ or out of the Christian Church or out of the Baptist Church? Because they want to and they can. The church in Texas is a prime example. Those children were not harmed. They were not in harm's way. They were not abused. But they went in and yanked those children because they could.
Okay, Yvonne, you've been fighting the system for quite a while. You have a website dedicated to this. What is the solution? How do people get involved? How do we turn this thing around? Is it impossible?
No, it is not impossible. And the reason that I know it is not impossible, one person can make a difference. The Jackson County DFACS would love to shut me down. They are afraid of me. they have told other parents whose children they've taken not to talk to me or else they would never get their children back. So I know I'm making a difference. What it's going to take, it's going to take parents who have lost their children to step out of the shadows and say, you can no longer intimidate me, just like this father did. I am using my name. I am using my child's name. I am naming names, and I am going to put you on notice that the system is broken and it has to be fixed. Now,
Okay, so people need to come out of the woodwork.
yes. And because they use intimidation and harassment and threats to keep these people under their thumbs.
Yeah.
They don't want these parents speaking out. The parents have to speak out. Otherwise, they have no ammunition to fight with. Defects become in control. It's time for the parents to get in control and have somebody watching the watchers.
What do you recommend these people do in New Hampshire? There's a protest going on 3 p.m. today, right now. Where do people need to go? I mean, do they need to organize? I mean, where's the baby? What do they need to do? How do they get the baby back to the parents? What needs to happen? Is this a legal front? Is this multiple fronts? I mean, how do people get involved? Besides,
First of all, they do not need to go with a public defender because the public defender, in most cases, has no clue how to fight these people. They need to get funding to get them a private attorney who has expertise in getting children back who have been stolen by the county. And it can be done. DFACS had no just cause. They need an attorney who will argue that DFACS had no reasonable reason, they had no preponderance of evidence to take these children. And if they can't afford an attorney, it would behoove them to get a fund going to get donations to help them to get an attorney.
Okay, Vaughn. Well, hey, thanks for coming on the show. So that's what we're going to emphasize. People need to figure out a way to donate to the cause, get involved, step out of the woodwork, and, spread the word. I mean, that's all you can do, right?
Yes, people have to band together. They have to understand that Child Protective Services, when it was started, was intended for a good purpose. But like every other government agency, it's gone awry. It is broken. It has to be fixed. And just because a child is snatched doesn't mean that that parent is a bad parent.
Okay. Hey, thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.